Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. We're kind of switching things up a bit today, and honestly, I'm so excited to share this with you. You know how we're always on the lookout for those aha moments, those shortcuts to understanding something new, something with the potential to really shake things up?
Absolutely. Those moments where you think, why didn't I think of that before?
Well, I recently stumbled upon something that kind of blew my mind. It's called the seven-figure Amazon KDP playbook.
Yeah, it's a system that claims you can build a $10,000 per month Amazon book business without writing a single word. And get this, I actually decided to give it a try. And I have to say, the results have been pretty amazing. So I really wanted to break it all down for you today. Oh, and if any of this already sounds like something you'd be interested in, you can check out kindleriches.com or click the link in the description to get all the details.
That's a bold claim. Building a substantial income stream through publishing, but without the actual writing. It definitely challenges the conventional approach. I'm curious to hear what you discovered.
Right. It immediately caught my attention too. So, the whole premise of this playbook is to generate a solid income through Amazon's KDP platform, but without the often time consuming and, let's be honest, sometimes daunting task of writing a whole book. The creator, Kyle, presents it as a solution for people who are tired of those side hustles that just don't deliver and the constant stress of living paycheck to paycheck. He talks about creating passive income in a different way, moving away from the traditional struggles of writing your own book or dealing with complicated online business models like dropshipping. And the more I dug into it, the more I realized it really does offer a fresh perspective on building an online business. Plus, if you're curious to explore further, remember you can always go to kindleriches.com or just click the link in the description.
It's interesting that the playbook targets a very specific platform, Amazon KDP, and emphasizes a unique approach, publishing without the traditional writing aspect. This points to a strategy based on leveraging existing content or specific book formats, right? You mentioned a three-step system. What are those key steps that lead to this $10,000 per month goal?
Okay, so step one is all about finding those profitable niches. And this is where the playbook really impressed me. It stresses using Amazon's bestseller rank, the BSR, as a key indicator, not just of demand, but also of low competition. They talk about finding this sweet spot BSR somewhere between 20,000 and 100,000. And they have this thing called the 3-2-1 method to help you validate a niche. It's all about using Amazon's own data, their own sales figures, to target the kind of books that are already selling well. It felt very data-driven, which I found super helpful. You're not just guessing or hoping for the best. It's about making smart, informed choices based on real market data. And honestly, that approach gave me a lot of confidence right from the start. And if you're curious about how this method works, you can find a detailed breakdown over at kindleriches.com.
That makes a lot of sense. Validating demand before investing a significant amount of time or effort is a smart strategy. Using the BSR as a gauge provides a data-driven way to spot potential opportunities. It's particularly appealing if you want to avoid guesswork and increase your chances of success, right? But a big question is, how do you create the actual content without, writing?
That's the really cool part. This is where the no writing aspect really shines, and it's actually pretty clever. So the playbook breaks it down into 3 profitable book types. None of them require you to sit down and write a traditional book. First, you have low content books, things like journals, planners, maybe activity books, that kind of thing. They're simple to create but have a surprisingly high demand. Then there's AI-enhanced books. These leverage the power of artificial intelligence using tools like ChatGPT to generate content. It's fascinating how AI can be used in this way. And finally, they cover publishing classic works that are in the public domain, so you don't have to create the content from scratch. It's more about finding the right works, formatting them, and presenting them in a way that appeals to readers. The playbook even suggests that you can create your first book in under 2 hours. I mean, that's incredible. And honestly, when I tried it myself, my first low-content book, I think it took me even less time than that. And they provide really helpful guidance on design. They suggest using simple tools like Canva or even affordable designers on Fiverr if you want to create really professional-looking covers. Honestly, as someone who's not a designer, that was a huge relief to know that I could create beautiful covers even without any design skills. Again, if you're interested in seeing examples of these book types and how the playbook guides you through creating them, head over to kindleriches.com. You can find the link in the description.
That's really interesting. It's like diversifying your portfolio, but with book types. Low content for those practical needs, AI for leveraging the latest technology, and public domain for tapping into a vast library of existing work. And having multiple options like that can definitely mitigate some of the risks associated with relying on a single content creation method. But creating the book is just one part of the equation, right? How does the playbook address getting those books in front of the right audience and driving sales?
Yeah, that's step 3, maximizing sales. And this part is all about optimizing your listings for visibility and conversions. The playbook is really big on crafting titles and descriptions that are designed to grab people's attention and make them want to buy. They even have a formula that they claim boosted their click-through rates by 38%. Now, I haven't personally tested that exact percentage increase, but I definitely saw a significant improvement in the visibility of my books after applying their methods. It's about using the right keywords, highlighting the benefits, and really making your books stand out in a crowded marketplace. And then there's strategic pricing, finding that balance between competitiveness and profitability. And then they have a really cool 30-day launch strategy. It's all about leveraging Amazon's algorithm to gain momentum and visibility early on. Plus, they talk about how to generate ethical reviews, which are so crucial for social proof and building trust with potential buyers. It's not just about putting your book out there, it's about actively promoting it and making sure it gets seen and sells. And the playbook gives you a clear roadmap to do just that. Seriously, if you're even thinking about selling on Amazon KDP, go check out kindleriches.com. It's a game changer.
It sounds like a very comprehensive approach. Emphasizing optimization is crucial, especially in a competitive online marketplace like Amazon. Having well-crafted titles, descriptions, strategic pricing, and positive reviews, it all plays a part in maximizing visibility and driving those sales. And from what you've shared, the playbook seems to provide a solid framework for achieving that.
Absolutely. And what I found really eye-opening were the comparisons they made in the playbook between the old way of publishing and what they called the new way. The old way is presented as months spent writing, battling with complex business models, high startup costs, waiting forever to see any income, and just this constant struggle. But their KDP system, the new way, promises you can create those profitable books without the writing. And you're using Amazon's BSR data for smart niche selection. And you can start with a very small investment. You're building multiple income streams that can literally sell 24/7. And all of this potentially requires just around 10 hours a week. That contrast is pretty stark. And honestly, my own experience aligns so closely with what they describe as the new way. It just felt way more manageable and, frankly, way more effective than anything I tried before. You can see this whole comparison for yourself and really get into the details of their approach at kindleriches.com.
It's a compelling argument for sure. But it's important to remember that while the new way might offer greater efficiencies and streamline the process, any successful endeavor requires effort and dedication. Even if it's not traditional writing, those 10 hours a week likely involve research, content assembly, design work, marketing activities. It's a different kind of work, but it still requires engagement and a commitment to making it work.
You're absolutely right. It's not a magic button. You still need to put in the effort. But the effort feels so much more focused and productive with the system. And honestly, what really convinced me were the testimonials. They had real people sharing their experiences and the results they've achieved. There was Jennifer R., who went from $0 to $8,750 per month in under a year. Michael T., he actually quit his engineering job after just 7 months because he was making $11,200 a month with this system. And there was a busy mom, Sarah K., who reported earning $4,300 per month with just about 8 hours of work each week. And even David M., who admitted he hates writing, said he's making $2,800 a month part-time just using public domain content and Canva. I mean, these were real people sharing their real results. It was super inspiring. And while everyone's experience will be different, it gave me a very tangible sense of what was possible. And you can read all these testimonials and more on kindleriches.com. Just click the link in the description.
Those testimonials definitely add weight to the claims. Hearing about real-life experiences, especially from people with diverse backgrounds and commitments, provides a more grounded perspective. It illustrates that this system can be adapted to different situations and lifestyles.
Definitely. And the playbook even tackles some of the common questions that people might have, like, who's this perfect for? They say it's ideal for side hustlers, entrepreneurs, anyone who doesn't have writing skills, or maybe just doesn't enjoy writing. They're very clear about what you get when you invest in the playbook. You get the entire 4-step system, detailed guidance on niche finding, different content creation methods, everything you need for sales optimization, strategies for scaling your business, templates, launch techniques. It's pretty comprehensive. And then they address what happens if you get stuck. They have email support and even a private community where you can connect with other people using the system, so you're not left to figure it out all on your own. And most importantly, they offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. To me, that was huge. It really took away any of the risk. You can try it out, and if for any reason you're not satisfied, you get your money back. It's a really great safety net. And you can find all the details on their website. It's kindleriches.com.
The support system and the guarantee, those are important aspects. They signal a degree of confidence in the product and a genuine desire to help people succeed. And being transparent about what's included, along with providing ongoing support, can make a big difference in someone's decision to try something new, especially when it comes to building an online business.
Exactly. And having now gone through the materials myself, I can say firsthand how well organized and easy to follow the playbook is. Even if you've never published a book before, even if you're not tech savvy, they really break down the whole process into manageable steps. The focus on leveraging resources that are readily available and using proven strategies to tap into the massive Amazon marketplace is just so smart. And as I mentioned earlier, if this has even slightly sparked your interest, if you're even a little bit curious about exploring this no writing method further, and honestly, based on my experience, I really think you should be, head over to kindleriches.com or just click the link in the description.
Your enthusiastic review speaks volumes, and it highlights the evolving landscape of publishing and income generation. This no-writing method presents an alternative pathway, a new way of thinking about book publishing that warrants serious consideration, especially for those who may have felt intimidated by the traditional approach or simply lack the time or interest in writing. The emphasis on actionable steps and accessible resources makes it particularly appealing.
Absolutely. And while I obviously can't guarantee specific financial outcomes, I genuinely believe, based on my personal experience, that this playbook offers a fantastic opportunity to explore generating income through Amazon KDP without having to write a book. It definitely shifted my own perspective. And if you're even remotely curious, please check out kindleriches.com or click the link in the description. With their money-back guarantee, you really have nothing to lose by taking a closer look.
It's a thought-provoking exploration, for sure. It raises an important question for our listeners. What are your current barriers to creating passive income? And are you open to exploring these unconventional methods that leverage existing platforms and readily available resources? I encourage you to consider how this no-writing method might align with your own skills and goals.
Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive today. I had a blast sharing my experience with you. I hope it sparked some new ideas and maybe even inspired you to explore new possibilities. Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious. And don't forget to check out kindleriches.com or the link in the description to learn more about this incredible system.